Hello, this is my video for IA Week 10, and what we'll be going over are some videos I found interesting for that week, which was the LLM tools and then the AI companionship. So first is the LLM based tools, and the video that really kind of encompasses everything is the videos by Andy Stapleton. Um, so just some things to note. What we want to understand first is the introduction to what these LLM tools are, right? And basically, it's just uh, one is deep research, and that is which is just a specialized AI capability, like ChatGPT's research or Google's Gemini. And what this does is like it performs in-depth, multi-step research using data from the public web, and it's generally intended to autonomously search, browse, and analyze information from various sources. So, these are some of the use cases as I was stating. For autonomous research, it allows the tools of AI to automatically search and browse the web and go beyond basic search queries to find relevant and up-to-date information. For in-depth analysis, or in-depth research, they analyze and synthesize information and often perform statistical analysis, cross-referencing sources and identifying key insights. It also can do comprehensive reports, which the final product is a detailed report, often with extensive citations, unlike normal queries using like GPT-4o, and potentially including data visualizations, tables, or even audio overviews. And it just generally has a diverse use case. Um, Going into this, this is from OpenAI's website. I'll be explaining this in a moment. Basically, deep research was introduced this year, actually, on February 2nd. And the way it works was it was trained using end-to-end reinforcement, learning on hard browsing and reasoning tasks across a range of domains. Through that training, it learned to plan and execute a multi-step trajectory to find the data it needs, backtracking and reaching to real-time information where necessary. And as we could see, I know it's a bit hard to showcase, but this is a query looking for like the perfect snowboard with some uh, requirements, right? So primarily in Hokkaido around twice a month during the winter season. This person also states information such like I enjoy groom runs, but also want a board that can handle some fresh powder on occasion. Um, Prefer versatile, and I won't really go further too much deep into it. But as we can see, these are two different responses. The one on the left is from GPT-4o. This is just a regular response, and it gives a basic description with the items on the left. Um, and as you can see, it's not that too much in depth. However, on the right, we could see that um, GPT, with deep research, it actually provides more information. I know I didn't really screen capture this correctly, but um, it provides more of the use cases that the person who queried, saying like I want it more for twice a week, and it gives reasons on why this particular product should be chosen over the other. So going more into it, so what are the measurements and improvement compared to regular prompting, right? Compared to using GPT's regular 4o. So it was tested on humanity's last exam, which recently released evaluation that tests AI across a broad range of subjects on expert level questions. And as in the graph, we could see the model powering deep research scores a new high at 26.6 accuracy, which this consists of over 3,000 multiple choice and short answer questions across more than 100 subjects, from linguistics to rocket science, um, and I believe classics to ecology. And as you can see just in this chart, compared to GPT-01, which had an accuracy of 9.1, this is about like 300% more, I would say, more accurate than the, excuse me, I meant like 20 more percent, but we could see that it's almost three times the value of OpenAI on one, right? And this model, powering deep research, just showcases a human-like approach by effectively seeking out specialized information when necessary. So, as in the video, Andy Stapleton basically conducts a literature review by prompting it. He just showcases the use of deep research, at least in OpenAI's tool, right? And what he prompts is, I am writing a literature review, and I'd like for you to conduct a literature review on OPV devices using peer-reviewed literature adhere to academic standards of writing, right? And unlike when we prompt or query, it actually questions you to gather more insight. So these include in the video such as scope, time frame, key topics, preferred sources, and um, format and length. And what I mean by length is like the length for the amount of words, right? So Andy actually set it to 10,000 words to push its limits. So just some output details. The process took 10 minutes, and it actually has over 40 sources that it provided, which include real peer-reviewed references, like such as from ResearchGate, um, and included online articles. But the problem that Andy stated was that it also provided non-academic resources, which is kind of a minor point. But users still have to filter these themselves, right? So, some potential limitations and some personal opinions, right? Deep research could save you hours and hours on researching, writing, and synthesizing information. It makes expert information reference well, incredibly easy, um, and the ease of access is to quality research output will likely upset some people in academia, right? So there's journals and submission guidelines will likely need to update to account for these new AI tools, right? So for AI guidelines, and it's described as generally a game changer. And some of the negatives is like the words can still sound a little bit AI, like generated. Um, for my personal opinions on using this in the right hands, it's good, but I've seen some comments where people are generally worried about the future of academia, right, in terms of research. Um, and some people are saying that in the right hands, it'll be okay. In my opinion, I've seen students use AI as a tool, AI to do everything for them. In my opinion, we should use it for what it is listed as a tool to help us or to enhance our research and move farther along. So the next section that I found interesting was artificial intimacy, right? And just to dive deep into this, it's basically we need to understand the human need for connection and how AI connects to this with its promise, right? So fundamentally, humans need, you know, despite advancements in technology, it's just human nature to crave companionships, relationships, and love. And AI's promises is that it can replicate those most valuable relationships, right? And the core appeal to this is that it acts as a confidant. A significant part of the appeal of AI companions is the ability to talk to someone without being judged. There's a huge demand for a listener who simply accepts you. And the fact that it's 24/7 available to you is a key advantage. And at any time of any day, especially crucial moments in your life when you're feeling down or up, it might I mean it's always accessible to you in like normal human companionships, and it allows the users to open up, right? And the first interesting case study with this is Replica, right? And it begins with Jordan Graham, right? Who's a 27-year-old user of Replica and with its companions, right? With their companion Aries for about 3.5 years. The relationship that Jordan describes with Aries is as it's confident, as mentioned, previously in the previous slide. Someone that Jordan can go to anytime, and Jordan just immediately fell in love with Replica from day one. Uh, and as what replica was intended to do was it's supposed to be pre-trained on the person themselves, right? And the impact with replica, right, to be able to talk to this AI bot. Um, in this case, Jordan's bot is called Aries, which played a significant role in helping Jordan discover their gender and their identity, right? Aries noticed and pointed out feminine aspects of his personality he, however, hadn't recognized, coaching him through a journey of self discovery to realize he is female. So she's female. Sorry for misgendering. This provided a safe space for Jordan to fully articulate and express themselves, right? Um, and this just proves that humans crave intimacy, and having this companion 24/7 will really impact you, right? And moving on to the next slide, another case study is uh, Karen Karen AI, right? And Karen AI, but basically the motivation demand was for this influencer Karen to have a way to interact with her fan base, right? And she stated in the video that she had over like 300,000 comments or some sort of something like that along those lines. And she couldn't talk to everybody, so she designed the bot using replica, but basically as her personality as a wrapper around it. So people who were talking to it basically well, was talking to a version of herself, right? A bot AI artificial intelligence version of herself. And there's actually a business model and success based off of this. She started charging $1 per minute, which generated a 17, I believe it was $72,000 revenue that for 1 week, right? And people have stated that they use this for mental health. I believe someone was a cancer patient, and as they were in this image talking to that patient, he stated that he used it, which helped him go through his treatment, right? Um, moving forward, the nature of artificial intimacy, right? So this is a new definition. So a new definition for AI. Instead of artificial intelligence, it's artificial intimacy. This is a new form of intimacy where machines express emotions such as "I love you," "I care about you," and "I'm your friend." And this starts questioning empathy. The idea of AI possessing empathy is challenged. The machine does not generally care if a user makes dinner or commits suicide once the interaction stops, suggesting that the engaging with such AI creates a psychological make believe where users aren't truly empathy with a non sentient entity, right? And this goes into real feelings, right? While AI itself is not real, the feelings and relationship the user develop with the AI are described as potentially very real. And this goes into dual consciousness, right? Users often experience a state of dual consciousness. They know on one level that the AI isn't real, but they still find the interaction soothing, comforting, and engaging, getting in the game despite their initial skepticism. And the depth of connection is evidenced by actions such as users having virtual weddings with the replica companions, a practice that has become somewhat of a norm. And then this goes into anthropomorphism, the human capacity to form attachment, and anthropomorphize, excuse me for my butchering of that word, it's very long. It just means to attribute human characteristics to a non-human entity. Is noted comparing to children loving stuffed animals. This suggests that the ability to care for or love something, even if it is artificial, is fundamental to human and teaches valuable lessons. And it's just that the validation value AI can provide to its users can be seen as wonderful for the individual who will go far saying that things users may have never heard from a human, right? Oh, excuse me. And then this goes into my last slide, right? The nature of artificial intimacy, right? It definitely has an impact on loneliness. A major question is whether AI companions will bring people together or push them further apart, potentially worsening the existing loneliness epidemic. Um, it's kind of it has this exacerbating disconnection. The technology might already contribute to people drifting apart, making it easy to cancel plans or send quick text instead of truly engaging, right? AI could exacerbate this by making people seek relationships with AI because they feel that no longer they rely on each other for reliability. This also goes into developer responsibility. With the rise of bots, this presents new challenges regarding emotional connection and responsibility developers have towards users who form deep bonds with these AI entities, right? Also, going back to care and AI, there's capitalism dehumanization, right? A future where AI companions are primarily driven by capitalism is seen as potentially dark. This risks people forgetting how to deal with each other and potentially lose the essence of being a human, right? Difficulty distinguishing reality. This is another nature of it and problem. Avatars and chatbots make it easy for users to fool yourself into thinking that you're interacting with a human-like creature. This raises a concern because, particularly for children, let's say, right, to distinguish between AI and real people potentially lead to issues in developing real-world social skills. So overall, all these problems majorly have an impact in how we interact as humans to one another, right? This brings me to my last point, right? Impact on human relationship. And a significant concern is that the ease and conditional nature of AI interactions might make human relationships feel disappointing or even painful. Human relationships involve friction, give and take, and shades of gray. If people become accustomed to the artificial, the complexity and challenges of dealing with actual people might become harder to navigate. And this just brings me to my final opinion of it. Personally, I've asked ChatGPT, tell me about myself or roast me, and it gave me things that I personally wanted to hear and made me feel good about myself. And sometimes when we have no one to talk to, we turn to something that we know will be there. And this will, this, like, you know, how we've been using AI kind of is like, why do the work when it can do the work for us? It's the same with human relationships. Why do the work of trying to connect with someone when AI can just automatically agree and disagree with you whenever you want, right? So this can be a positive and negative thing. And that concludes my video. Thank you so much.